Welcome back, Patriots, for another episode of the Bald Brad Show. It is officially, is it Tuesday? It is Tuesday, the 14th, meaning we are 6 days away from Joey getting the hell out of the White House and having Donald Trump back in. But Joey's going out making bad decisions. Joey's getting out of the White House, sabotaging the American people. Joe Biden is hurting this country till his last breath sitting in that Oval Office. This guy sucks. Get him out of office. Folks, he's giving people, wait till you find out, you saw in the thumbnail, wait till you find out what he's getting. He's giving people who just lost everything. Same thing that we saw on the East Coast. So it's not going to be any surprises here. But your $23 million house just burned down that was passed down from generation to generation. Wait till you hear. Wild. But if you could support us, hit that like button. It does help tremendously. And yes, good morning, Patriots. I see you all in the live chat right now. And buckle up. Also, don't forget, Pete Hegseth is on the Capitol Hill right now, hopefully getting a confirmation today. We will see and keep you up to date on what goes on with that. So, lead story of the day is Biden. Everybody, buckle up if you're over driving your kids to school. We're about to give the amount that Joe Biden's going to give Americans. The amount of money is astronomical. I can't even say it. No, it's $770. That's probably going to be taxed. $770. Now, I am one that is grateful for things, so at least it's something. But it's a one-time payment. And I guarantee you, now I don't know for sure, but it's probably going to be taxed. When you go file your tax return next year for 2025, yeah, it's going to have, did you receive any financial aid? And Joey's still giving you the double middle finger after he's already gotten out of office. So President Joe Biden has announced immediate financial relief. Yes, this is going to give you all relief, except a hotel's like $400, $500 a night in California. A relief measure for victims of the California wildfires, offering a one-time payment of $700. It's such a joke, dude. I can't even say it without laughing. It's so ridiculous. $770 to affected individuals. This initiative aims to assist with purchasing essentials like water, baby formula, prescriptions. With nearly 6,000 people already registered for this aid, the announcement comes amidst discussions about the disparity in aid allocation, with recent significant financial support for extended going to Ukraine. So this dude just gave $3.5 billion with a B to the Ukrainian government's pension fund. Now, you might think that I said that incorrectly, so I'm going to read that again for everybody. Joe Biden just gave Americans houses burned down. They're not all millionaires. They're not all celebrities, okay? Some of this stuff was handed down to them. All their treasures and everything gone. Joey is giving them $770. He just got done like 2 weeks ago giving more money to Ukraine. The money we have given Ukraine as well, $3.5 billion, goes to their government pensions. I'm going to lose it. Joe, you suck. And I'm going to keep it together today because it was my New Year's resolution. But everybody knows that deserves a rant. Everybody knows I should be blowing the lid off this building I'm in right now because you are paying for other people's pensions. Let's listen to this idiot.
And I want to be clear. We're not waiting until those fires are over to start helping the victims. We're getting them help right now, as you all know. People impacted by these fires are going to receive one-time payment of $770, one-time payment, so they can quickly purchase things like water, baby formula, and prescriptions. So far, nearly 6,000 survivors have registered to do just that, and $5.1 million has gone out. And I want to be clear, we're not waiting.
Pat's had his house burned down. He said when we got the 200 gift cards, the two $200 gift cards from FEMA, they said we didn't qualify for the $700 loan, so we was too poor to get the money. Hence the two $200 gift cards. Lovely. This is why we don't rely on government. This is why Republicans and conservatives think government sucks. For some ungodly reason, and I don't know why, Democrats and the progressive left thrive off government. They fully believe the government is the answer to all their problems. Is this not the epitome of case in point? The government caused the problem, and now you're expecting the government to fix the problem that they caused, that they're incapable of fixing because they're idiots. They have always been idiots. The politicians are idiots. The way the government's ran is ran by the politicians that are a bunch of idiots. It's just a bunch of clueless people that pretend like they know things, and you elect them in the office expecting them to fix the things when they don't know anything, and then you're dumbfounded when they can't fix anything because they don't know anything. And it's like a circle. It's like a circle. Like Rob Schneider. I'm getting comments, I'm not even kidding, I'm getting comments from Democrats saying that I'm being too rude to Joe. I'm being too rude to Joe. That's what was told to me yesterday. I'm not being rude to Joe. I'm being realistic. You want to know what's rude? Joe selling off the border wall for pennies on the dollar when taxpayers paid for that wall to be built. You want to know what's rude? It's sending thousands of terrorists in the country so that they can kill us. You want to know what's rude? Is allowing thousands of murderers to come in, as well as rapists and drug traffickers, to sell your youth, our children, drugs so they die of fentanyl. You know what's weird and rude? Is that he's allowing these people to come in and rape our children. That's pretty rude. Him sending $3.5 billion to Ukraine's pension fund so you could pay for somebody else's retirement. That's pretty rude when your house just burned down, you idiot. God, these people are, man, it's remarkable. Yeah, there's an, hey, why don't we pull it into the chat and I will say it. Drag says it perfectly here. Yeah, you want to know what's rude? Calling Afghanistan pullout a success. That's pretty rude. People fell from the skies. You want to know, the guy left me a couple comments. You want to know what I wrote back? I just told him he's delusional. Because he is. A lot of these people are delusional. They are so far off their rocker, it's head spinning. And because I call it out, and I don't maybe say it the nicest way, it turns a lot of people off. Guess what? I don't care. The show's not for everybody. I know that. It's not. If you don't like the things I say, then guess what? You don't have to watch. And I've always found that interesting because you've all heard that how Zuckerberg has really come out and exposed the Biden administration for trying to censor Republicans and conservatives for the things that we say, even though we've been saying that they're trying to censor us and actively are for 4 years right now. Case in point, one of the channels that is being actively suppressed. You know what's weird about that whole thing? Is we were told that we were conspiracy theorists, that we were off our rocker, that we were too far gone, that we were the delusional ones. No. It's not for everybody. If you don't like the things that somebody says and does, guess what? Don't hang around with them and don't watch them. That's that simple. Yeah. Remember how we used to say, hey, change the channel if you don't like it. I'm just a realist, man. I ain't here to sugarcoat anything. Now, sometimes I sugarcoat it because I'm trying to better myself and not cuss up a storm because I understand people's kids listen to this show with them while they're in the car. So that's what I try to be understanding of. Now, some celebrities, which the one I'm about to highlight is pretty shocking here because you would think she's delusional, and I think sometimes she is, but Khloe Kardashian blasts LA Mayor Karen Bass for fire department budget cuts. You're a joke. Now, I've never told you guys this. I was actually employed by her slightly for a little bit, and I'm not going to make it seem like I talked to her and I knew her and I knew all. I was just employed by her for a TV show relatively quickly. So she owns she used to own a show, and she used to do it on the ID network. Reality star Khloe Kardashian had strong criticism for Los Angeles Democrat Mayor Karen Bass amid the wildfire crisis, which has caused tens of billions of dollars in damages and forced residents to flee their homes. But don't worry, they're all getting a check for $770. All the while, you could go to Chicago as an illegal alien and get $84,000 in benefits today. I don't want to hear a peep from Democrats. I really don't. I will listen to them because they got their house burned down. But in terms of failed leadership, not getting money, not getting the resources and the help they need, I don't want to hear a damn thing from any of them. Because what's their question we always ask when you're interviewing these people? You should be asking, who did you vote for? That's what I want to know. That is the important question. Why is it not? Who? You can listen to them, get all their grievances out right, and rightfully so, they're pissed. I'm not saying they shouldn't be. Something terrible just happened to them, and I think they should get help, which is why I'm complaining right now. Who'd you vote for? End of conversation at that point. If you say, hey, I voted for Trump, I didn't want Gavin, I voted for Larry Elder in the recall, or I wanted Larry Elder in the recall, I'll listen to you all day, buddy. I'll even try to go out of my way. I'll say, hey, let's start a GoFundMe. I got a chat. I got a bunch of patriots that can contribute some money to you and help you out. If you're a Democrat and you voted for Gavin Newsom and you voted for Kamala Harris, I'll listen to you, but the sympathy's there, but it's not totally where it would be. The 40-year-old mom of two made her opinion known over the weekend when she shared a clip of the LA Fire Chief Kristen Crowley on social media discussing a $17.5 million budget cut to her department. In the clip, Crowley told Fox 11 reporter, which is our local station, that the city failed her department. The influencer wrote, I stand by you, Chief Crowley. You spoke the truth and you had tears in your eyes because I could tell you didn't even want to say that, but it was the truth. Thank you for being honest, the captain said. Mayor Bass, you are a joke. Well, I'll be fair, they're both jokes. Kardashian also shared an image of a memo sent by the LA Fire Department to the Board of Fire Commission stating that the budget cut would severely limit the department's capacity to prepare for, train for, and respond to large-scale emergencies. But I was just told by the director of FEMA yesterday that they were prepared. We all saw the clip. She said it with her own words, and I'm not even parsing it. I'm not even paraphrasing, summarizing it. She said they were prepared. They weren't prepared. Case in point, what's being stated right here. They're a bunch of liars. People are dead. Their houses are burned down. They can't find their loved ones because they're ash under rubble. Entire neighborhoods, as far as the eye could see, is gone. But Joey's going to fix it. Yeah. Joe's never fixed anything in his life. The only case we could really make here that maybe he might have fixed something, and I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt just for the sake of conversation, is maybe the CHIPS Act. Maybe. I don't even know the long-term ramifications of the CHIP Act yet. Maybe it's going to be a phenomenal thing that, thank God we did it. Maybe. I'm willing to wait. But other than that, this guy has screwed Americans over time and time again. And remember, we're too rude to the guy. No, we're realists. And when bleep hits the fan, you need people in the world to wake other people up. And unfortunately, some people are just going to stay asleep. So Gavin Newsom, California Dems are going to figure this whole thing out, right? They're going to take all their time they can right now, all their resources, and they're going to focus on the fires. Like I keep mentioning, people's houses burned down. People lost everything. The insurance isn't covering it. They're effed. they're probably never even going to move back into the Palisades ever again because it's too expensive. They can't rebuild. So you would think, hey, Newsom is out there focusing. His whole team is focusing on the fires. What else could you possibly be focusing on that's more important than the fires where people died, had their animals lost, dead, blah, 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 all these things? Nope. Nope. California Dems reach a $50 million deal to fight Trump as LA burns. That's where they're putting their resources, to fighting freaking Trump. This is... This is my mechanism to not lose it. Now's not the time, Gavin, to be dealing anything with Trump other than asking him for help, which he was just there when he was president before, when there was another wildfire telling you solutions so it doesn't happen again, and you wanted to ignore the guy. Why? Because you're an idiot, Gavin. You're a stupid, bumbling idiot. And whoever tells you otherwise is lying to your face because they want a paycheck and a salary. As some of the most destructive fires in Los Angeles County history continue to rage, Gavin Newsom and the Democrat-controlled state legislature on Sunday agreed to set aside $50 million to fight the Trump administration and defend illegal immigrants. I can't write this. You can't even make this up. So unbelievable. Jackasses in California. How about you give the 50 million to the people that just had their houses burned down? I'm cool with that and I live here. Meaning some of this is whose money? There's allegations that illegal immigrants started the fire, but it's okay. Let's spend that money that we don't have because we're in a deficit of like $60 billion. Let's defend the illegal immigrants. You want to know why hotel rooms are so expensive? Well, because there's a shortage because illegal immigrants are flooding them as well as the homeless that this guy caused. And Democrats go, you're too mean and you're too rude. You want to know what's rude? Kicking out veterans out of hotel rooms that served in Afghanistan and Iraq and replace them with people from Afghanistan and Iraq. That's a little rude. You want to know what's rude? Is giving drug addicts free drugs and places to do them in broad daylight without any sort of repercussions or consequences because you don't want them to flood the hospitals. That's a little effed up and a little rude. And by the way, psychotic. That is crazy, dude, that we as California are giving people areas, specialized areas to do drugs to keep their addiction going. And we're going to enable them by giving them free needles to do in broad daylight. This is a messed up state, man. This is crazy. You have to fully understand, Democrats are still going to vote for him. He's not going anywhere. Patriots, I'm calling it 4 years in the future. We've showed you information year ahead of time. The super bad thing with the terrorist here, we covered that over a year ahead of time. You were at 1 year ahead of the news cycle on that one by coming to this small channel. This dude's running for president in 2028. Why do I know that and think that? Because he sucks. Devastation everywhere. Destroyed this state. Democrats' MO is that if the more damage you can do to something, the more likely you are to be elevated to the highest level of office, which is the office of the presidency. That's how I know. This guy is doing everything he can to be president, which is driving this state into the ground. This dude cares more, just like Joey does in the Democrat Party, about illegal immigrants than he does any American citizen out there. The receipts are his actions. You want to come visit California? Don't do it. It's crap. I would love for you to I would love if somebody that grew up here going, hey, come on here. No, it's great. Yeah, head down to Hollywood Boulevard. Check out the Hollywood Walk of Fame. You'll be able to see the Chinese Grauman's Theater. You'll be able to see the Hollywood sign. All of that in one area. No, it's great. It's clean. You can see Pantages down there. You can walk around. You might even run into a celebrity. All that stuff I would love to say. It is garbage down there. It's disgusting. It didn't used to be that way. They actually used to clean the cement. The vote on the deal could take place as soon as this week before President-elect Donald Trump is sworn into office next Monday, or this Monday rather. California Republicans slammed Newsom, and the Democrats are focusing on fighting Trump while fires continue to burn in Southern California. The deal sets aside $25 million to fund the California Department of Justice to fight against Trump administration in court, and then $25 million is to shield illegal immigrants from deportations. But you get $770 from Gavin and Biden. When I say that illegal immigrants are getting vastly more than American citizens, I am not exaggerating that one bit. You guys, they're getting $2.5 billion in healthcare alone every year, annually. California, I'm going to say this again because I don't think people are aware of this. California is paying for illegal immigrants' healthcare in the tune, it's more than this, of $2.5 billion with a B a year, annually. I don't know what Democrat needs to hear this. Your bleeping house just burned down. Their heads are so far up there, you know what? They did clean up Venice at one point, but it's still garbage. So somebody asked, Danielle asked, Brad, what about Venice Beach? Did they clean it up yet? I haven't been there in a long time. They did. They moved them off the boardwalk because they had to, because the homeless were lighting their encampments on fire on a weekly basis. And I'm not exaggerating that. And they were also attacking the tourists. So if you guys weren't aware, Venice Beach, they have a boardwalk that people walk on. It's very famous. And the homeless took over the boardwalk, so they had beachfront property. To give you an example, there's shacks of businesses right along the boardwalk there. Like, I'm talking shacks, like, you roll up like one of those pods that people send out to put stuff in. Those shacks pay like $5,000, $6,000 a month to be there. Crazy rental. Why? Because it's beachfront property. It's the shack, the boardwalk, the beach. Homeless people had better real estate than actual other people did. And a lot of those homeless were illegals as well. But as far as I'm aware, they did move them off. Now, Democrats have their heads so far up, you know what? So what are they going to do? They're going to swing this whole thing. They're going to lie to you. And I said before, old lies, new stories, meaning they're going to keep lying to you and they're going to spin it for the next 4 years. And you thought the last 4 years in lying was bad. Well, wait till Pete Hegseth gets in. You got Kash Patel, Tulsi Gabbard, RFK Jr., the whole brigade hopefully getting confirmed. Well, when it starts coming out of all the crazy crap these people did, and it turns out we weren't conspiracy theorists, and that we're just bringing you the real news, and they were the ones lying to you, wait till they start lying to you even more. Because Jake Sullivan said this, that America is safer and the country is better off than we were 4 years ago. So, I have the clip here of him. You have to understand there are people sitting at home that believe this. So again, we have Jake Sullivan here telling everybody that you are better off now than you were 4 years ago, and you are safer, even though there's thousands of terrorists in the United States present time. There was just a terrorist attack 2 weeks ago.
To reflect on the past 4 years, Biden National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan. Jake, thanks for being here. We appreciate it. As we come to the waning days of the Biden administration, where across the globe could you point and say the United States is safer because of what we did here?
Well, I'd start by saying our alliances are stronger than we found them 4 years ago. They're stronger than they've been in decades. NATO is more powerful, purposeful, and bigger. Our alliances in the Asia-Pacific are at all-time highs. And our adversaries and competitors are weaker across the board. Russia's weaker, Iran's weaker, China's weaker. And all the while, we kept America out of war. So I think the American people are safer, and the country is better off than we were 4 years ago. And we're handing all that off to the next team, as well as having the engines of American power humming, our economy, our technology, our defense industrial base, our supply chains. So the United States is in a stronger, more secure position, and our competitors and adversaries are weaker and under pressure. I think that's the main handoff that we will make to the incoming team.
This is insane. You're better off than you were 4 years ago. You're safer. I don't know who's going to tell this guy that there's terrorists here right now. I don't know who's going to wake him up. You notice no pushback from CNN? Just lopping it up. This is why Trump was elected. This is why I'm saying Trump getting in office was the greatest gift I possibly could have gotten for Christmas. Maybe for the rest of my life. I don't know. And it's nothing against what I got for Christmas. I'm very thankful for it. I asked for it. We are just, I keep saying this, but just because Donald Trump is getting into office on the 20th, nothing really changes for quite some time. There'll be some big changes. You have to find these terrorists. Some of them we know where they live because we're harboring them, which is crazy. But when you have elected leaders like, I'm trying to keep my language PG, like Gavin Newsom, that is harboring criminals like illegal aliens, like terrorists, you got a massive problem on your hands. Massive. And then they're going to come out and say, well, you're safer and the country's better off than we were 4 years ago. And people believe it. Why? Because their head is, you know what? And it's up there far, man. They haven't seen daylight for quite some time. But don't worry. Make sure you send Joey a thank you letter for all the help he's giving you, which is absolutely none. So remember, you just heard from the horse's mouth himself. I show the receipts here. I'm not putting words in anybody's mouth. That's what he said, right? We all saw it with our own eyes and our own ears. They'll tell us otherwise. Well, lo and behold, Christopher Wray comes out today and warns Islamic terror is much closer to being a problem in U.S. than people realize. No. Maybe the Democrats who are clueless about everything, yeah, maybe them, not us. We're prepared here because we come and watch the Bald Brad Show every morning, so we know the guy's been bitching about it for years. For years, I've been saying, hello, right? You know, we're a small channel, but we're growing, baby. We're getting big. Hello, there's terrorists here. I've been saying it. You guys hear me screaming in the mic every morning. FBI Director Christopher Wray warned during an interview on Sunday that the threat of Islamic terrorism was much more significant than most in the U.S. realize. So he's on 60 Minutes here, and I'm not shocked. I would be shocked if there wasn't a terrorist attack, put it that way. I don't hope there's one. I don't want there to be one. I don't want any of this to happen. I can only be so clear, but the left love to clip people. And remember, they're delusional. Completely delusional people. This guy, he's going to be like, hey, just let you know, there's probably going to be a terrorist attack and I didn't do anything to help it. See the covering he's doing there? It wasn't in the name of ISIS. He did it in the name of a specific faith. Let's actually go back. He's a liar, just so you know. I know I'm preaching to the choir. This guy's a liar. He's even lied under oath. Again, the Democrats in the chat, what was one of the many of lies? Well, I can just pull it off the top of my head because I'm not delusional all the time. The FD 1023 form that he said wasn't real, and then Chuck Grassley held it up in front of his face in Congress. But they're not capable of doing this stuff on their own, you guys. They're not capable of, hey, when a guy says something, let me just go ahead and look it up real quick. Not everything I say is going to be spot on because I have to pull a lot of this from my memory. And I'm not saying I'm the most wise person in the world. If you ask any of my friends, I call myself an idiot. I'm not an intellectual. I don't even think I'm that smart at all. Really smart at all, anything. I'm just an average Joe guy that likes to smoke cigars, sit around a fire, and have a glass of whiskey. I don't even talk to people all that much. I talk to you guys every morning. That's pretty much it. Talk to my wife. Other than that, and that's not even that much. I'm a quiet guy. I keep saying that. I just want people to be clear. Because I rant and rave, I don't want people to think that I'm holier than thou, that I'm better than the rest of them. No, I'm not. Not even close. Want to be clear on that one. But when you come out and you say crap like we're safer and a country's better off than 4 years ago, I'm a dum-dum. And I know, Jake, that you're bull crapping me to my face. And I'm not shocked, but you have to understand there's people that are shocked. There's people's minds are blown that there's terrorists here. And I'll even go a step further, because this is one of the great things about living in the state of California is I am surrounded by the left. I'm talking buzzed heads, right? Different colors, men walking around in dresses. I am surrounded by that in the state. And I could go up to almost anybody and say, hey, are you for illegal immigration? And they will say yes. And I will follow that up with, are you okay with terrorists being here? And some of them will say yes, because they deserve a second chance. If you think I'm kidding, I am not. So you're safer, right? Yeah. No, you just heard Jake Sullivan. The Biden administration says you're safer and you're better off. Hey, why don't you tell the people in the Palisades right now, Jake, that they're better off after their house just burned down? Freaking idiot. Not to mention there was a terrorist attack all but a couple weeks ago. How about that one? So feds are concerned right now about possible copycat vehicle ramming attempts after the New Orleans terrorist attack. Well, yeah, I would say the New Orleans was a copycat because somebody had just done it in Germany, like on Christmas Eve. Just plowed through a bunch of people. Notice, no conversation about banning cars. None. It's a crazy thing, right? The car didn't kill anybody, right? The car is just a tool that was used to ram through a bunch of people. The guy killed them. Now, there could be a case that there's smart cars coming up soon and they'll be able to drive itself and do all these things if you tell it to. I get that. The same thing with a gun. A gun is just a tool. It's amazing that I do a show and there's something in my vicinity, we'll say, never goes off. Never. It's a remarkable thing. Not capable. It can't do it. But because the left is ignorant and their heads are so far up there, you know what? They don't know how anything functions. They don't even know how their own bowels function. The Department of Homeland Security and the FBI released a joint statement on Monday warning of potential copycat vehicle ramming, such as the attack carried out by Islamic terrorist individual. Notice that they actually get it right here in the article. The FBI director can't. No, it was ISIS, you guys. It was ISIS. Can you elaborate on the word ISIS just a little bit more? Can you give me the acronym? And I think we could find out what you really mean by it. You see how they kind of sidestep things? So that you don't actually, you give the truth, but not the full truth, the whole truth. The statement highlighted that attackers in the U.S. and abroad have used rented vehicles, which are easy to acquire, and warned of terrorists using weapons such as guns, knives, explosive devices as well, the Hill reported. The Department of Homeland Security and the FBI urged the public to stay vigilant and report any suspicious activity to law enforcement. You're safer, though. No, I'm going to keep going back. You're safer. You heard it from the Biden administration. Believe them. Yes. I've been telling you ain't safe for years. I've been telling you this. So when this New Orleans thing happened, I wasn't shocked. And quite frankly, when Trump was shot in the head, I wasn't that shocked either. I was more shocked that I actually caught it live. One of the few people that was streaming it with all you patriots, you all remember, because we were here together, a little traumatized from it. I was more shocked that I got it caught. Ask any of my friends, ask anybody in my circle, and I said, I would be shocked if the guy actually survived. Thank God he did, but I was right again. And this isn't one of those things like, oh, good job. Yeah, look at me. I would never have wanted that to happen in the first place. But because you have a terrible government that sucks at everything, that can't do anything right, this is the state that we're in. Now, at a federal level, looks like we're going to clean stuff up. I'm not going to hold my breath with it. I want to see results. I love Trump. I voted for him 3 times. I always brag about it. I want to see results. And I'm not going to be a hypocrite. I'm going to hold Trump's feet to the fire. And I keep saying this, you guys, I'm going to praise the guy. But if he does something stupid, it's not right for me here to lie to all of you and pretend like something's okay when I don't think it is. Now, you might not agree with me, and that's okay. That's the part of the great country that we live in. But he's 100% going to do something stupid. He's a human being. We all do things stupid. You guys do. I do things stupid. I say stupid things sometimes still. So I just want everybody to be aware that don't be shocked if I say, hey, I'm not a big fan of what he's doing here. Case in point, I already said I didn't really like the language of him saying, hey, I might use military for the Panama Canal and Greenland. Now, he didn't flesh it out as much of what he really meant by that. I just wasn't a big fan of the way he utilized the language in that regards. And you're talking about a guy that doesn't care much about language, but here nor there. Just want to make sure everyone's aware so they're not caught off guard coming next year. Now, the main focus of the show is still going to be going after the hypocrisy of the left and the media because that ain't going anywhere. These people are delusional, and delusional people tend to stay delusional. Well, here's the spin cycle you got for the wildfires coming up. Wildfires rage. By the way, things might get worse in California because the winds are picking up again over the next 3 days here, which is freaking lovely. And politicians fan the blame. See what they did there? Fan the blame. So on Sunday, multiple wildfires rage out of California, out of control in California. What to do about them and how to prevent such a tragedy from happening in the future was top of mind of many of the political talk shows. As one might expect, media personalities were quick to jump to the aid of Democrats. Of course they were. Like Ron DeSantis said, if this was Republican state, you wouldn't hear the end of it. Terrible leadership, mismanagement. We need to recall him. He needs to resign immediately. Nothing of the sort. Nothing. Who are often only too happy to politicize natural disasters when they occur in red states. Correct. We're desperate to put a stop to the criticism being leveled at California's leadership. Well, you just saw us play a clip yesterday where they're blaming the fires and our criticism on Karen Bass, who sucks at her job, and I said she should have never been elected in the first place. Well, if you criticize her because she's black, you're a racist now. I don't care if you're black, white, Asian, green, a tinge of whatever color. I'm going to criticize you if you do something stupid. In the same way, people criticize me when I say and do stupid stuff all the time. And I have to take that criticism and evaluate it. But I don't look at somebody and go, well, you're racist. That's a terrible type of ideology to push, because then you're not going to take the criticism seriously, because you're going to take that criticism off the back of somebody that's allegedly a racist. And why would you ever take a racist seriously? Because they're already delusional in the first place because they're racist. I think that makes sense. But to the Democrats, it doesn't. And here's the remarkable thing. After these fires, guess what's going to change? Nothing. How do I know? It happens every year. We have wildfire season, just like we have Christmas. So when people go into debt for Christmas and they're shocked that Christmas is on December 25th, there's a little bit of a problem here. And that might be some of us, to be honest. You know Christmas is coming. You know Valentine's Day is coming. You know the New Year is coming. You know things are going to happen because it happens every year, Gavin. Every year. Wildfires happen every year. Guess what? It also gets hot every year, Gavin. How do I know that? Because I've lived here for 33 years. Now I'm 35. I cut 2 years short because I lived in the East Coast. Now, you think we're done with Biden giving the $770 if you're just joining us. Again, to recap, Joe Biden, make sure you send him a letter of thankfulness and kiss his feet, because Joe Biden's giving the Palisades victims and residents of whoever's house burned down and requested aid, he's giving them $770 so they can pay for baby formula, housing, things like that, when hotels are like $300-400 a night. No, thank you. Yeah, send him letters, you guys. Yeah, absolutely. If you want to send him something he might need because you might not feel that maybe a letter's good enough, well, he can use more diapers and baby formula. He can use both of those. Well, he comes out You thought Jake Sullivan's quote was bad. Joe Biden's come out and he's telling all of you, I built the most competent foreign policy team in U.S. history. Fuck, dude. Am I making it up? No. No. That's the crazy thing. He's making it up. That's the person that's making it up. Not me. I'm just reading the news. I'm just showing you what people say. It's I don't even know if I can say it. It's so freaking crazy. So President Joe Biden claimed during the final week of his presidency that he built one of the most competent foreign policy teams in history, despite all evidence of the contrary. So let's just go through a few. So that's what he said. His exact quotes right there, if you're curious. That's mostly for the Democrats, not us, because I think at this point I've built enough trust in the Patriots here to know that Brad's not bullshitting me. His remarks come after his disastrous withdrawal in Afghanistan in 2021 that humiliated the United States around the world and became the catalyst for a resurgence in Islamic terrorism in the region and around the world. Yeah, remember when people were falling from the skies? You know how we say it's raining cats and dogs outside? That was raining Afghans everywhere, stuck in the wheel department joints of C-747s. Just hanging on, you know, like Tom Cruise in Mission Impossible, where he's hanging on the side of the plane. Everyone's like, holy shit, how did Tom do that? And he's like, blah, blah, blah. That was Afghans on the side of the planes. Just, God forbid, dude. That was a joke, but from a terrible situation, you got to make lightheartedness of things that are terrible. Several months later, in February 2022, it was terrible. That's why I'm highlighting it. I know people are like, that was really, what's the word? Not incendiary. Rude. I was making light of a terrible situation because you Democrats voted in a guy that created the terrible situation. So when I make light of it so that I can get through it a little bit better because I saw freaking people die and falling from the skies, I'm the bad guy. So rather than attacking the guy that caused the problem, you attack guys like me for making light of a disastrous situation so that I can cope with it a little bit better. Let that one sink in. Several months later, though, Joey couldn't contain himself, so Russian Vladimir Putin invaded Ukraine in part of because he believed that Biden would not respond strongly to the invasion. And here's the kicker. Here's the kicker. He was right. You know that board meeting was quick. I think I'm going to invade Ukraine. I don't think Joey's going to do anything. That's a terrible Russian accent, but you get it. Yeah, that was the board meeting. And they're going to say, correct, invade. And Joe still hasn't done anything. Joe held off penalizing Russia because it would increase gas prices. And so he did it last week ahead of the Trump administration's inauguration so that Trump has to deal with gas prices when he comes into office. You want to know the strategy behind that? The strategy is, oh, well, you guys complained about how gas prices increased under me. Why are you not complaining about the gas prices increasing under Donald Trump? Because, Joe, we're not idiots. We know what you did. So we can look back and go, hey, this caused gas prices to increase. In the same way, before Putin ever invaded Ukraine on February of 2022, we were able to look and go, hey, gas prices were increasing before Putin invading Ukraine. And why did you cause it? Maybe because you're on the campaign trail, you bumbling idiot, saying that you wanted to remove the fossil fuel industry so people didn't want to increase drilling when they know that you were trying to make them out of a job. That's how we know, Joe, because we're not delusional. We're not idiots. We're able to look back at things and go, what caused said thing to happen? Now, I understand your base, Joe's not able to do that. What's the case in point? Everything over the last 4 years and them voting for Kamala. Joe, they voted for you when your brain isn't working. You fell up a flight of stairs multiple times. You were looking for dead people in the crowd, asking where they are at multiple times. Joe, you hit a golf ball backwards. I used to golf. I've never seen it in my life. You're the only person I've seen capable of hitting a golf ball backwards. Joe, you are speaking to dead people that have been gone for 40 years, and your base voted for you, and they're going to tell me I'm delusional because I voted for a felon that had a case completely fabricated because some attorney reported an expense as legal services because it went to a lawyer, hence the legal service expenditure on the QuickBooks, and you're putting the guy, or wanting to, behind bars because his attorney or his CPA reported something that had no involvement of Trump in the first place, because it's not Trump's job to report the expense. It's his freaking accounting firm. Am I making sense here? But we're most competent. He created the most competent team. Yeah, you guys. Yeah, no disasters everywhere. The administration allowed Russia forces combined with local forces to push the U.S. out of countries in Africa where the U.S. had a small presence that was key for fighting terrorism. But Joe loves terrorism. That's why he's giving the Iranians billions of dollars. That's why he's allowing the Iranians to buy energy from Iraq so they can excel in their production of whatever it is that they do. What is that? Oh, sorry. No, producing terrorism. Yes, more of that. Iranian-backed Hamas terrorists invaded Israel on October 7th. That took place, but remember, most competent foreign policy team that's ever existed. The U.S. also faced the largest cyber attack in history from communist China, which is still ongoing, and while the administration still has not pushed China at all. No, nothing. Nothing's happened to China. In these 4 years, we faced crises that we've been tested. Biden claimed, we've come through those tests stronger, in my view, than we ended those tests. I'm not even sure if I read that correctly. I got to hear this guy's words real quick. Ain't no way. Ain't no way.
Together, one of the most competent foreign policy teams, I would argue, in American history, sitting in this room and before my eyes. I put together one of the most competent foreign policy teams, I would argue, in American history, sitting in this room and before my eyes.
Here's what's throwing me off. He said, before my very eyes. I'm not even sure if they're actually there. That is not a joke, by the way. Maybe they are. But here's the thing. When this guy sees dead people and he's looking for people in the crowd and he says that he takes photos with people in places that were never there in the first place. There's been situations where he said he was taking pictures with people that were in a completely different state at the same time. Thank you. I appreciate it. You guys let me know I'm spot on. Thank you. You would tell me otherwise. I have faith in you. Well, let's get to some good news here. Because we got 6 days of this crap. Actually, less. We got really 5 days. You know what? That made me feel a lot better. I just got goosebumps saying that. And when I say I got goosebumps, I'm not kidding. Trump comes in on Monday. We got 5 days. And we are streaming all day. I don't say all day, but majority of the day on Monday. I will be here bright and early. We'll go over some news. We'll wait for Donald Trump. We'll hang out in the chat together and, do that. Well, you got this here. Village people make huge announcement about Trump's inauguration. Band members of the music group Village People announced on Monday that they have accepted an invitation from President-elect Donald Trump's campaign to be a part of the inauguration activities. Sorry, I just almost threw up on my mouth. I just burped. I'm so sorry. That's too much information, but that was rough. It's a cynic, okay? I haven't had breakfast yet. In a message on the groups, I'm saying this at the end because it's mostly where the Patriots are at the very, very end. The people that hold out till the very, very end, which I appreciate. We know this won't make some of you happy to hear. However, we believe that music is to be performed without regard to politics, the message read. Our song YMCA is a global anthem that hopefully helps bring the country together after terrible events and a divided campaign where our preferred candidate lost. Good on them. And Trump is the one, by the way, that's keeping YMCA alive. That too, to be honest, and it's more money for them. They would be stupid not to take this inauguration to hopefully sing, right? And Trump going, I love this song. Village people. It would be, from a business standpoint, when half the country loves Trump, more than half the country, by the way. Think about this. More than half the country loves Trump, right? Just based on voting. That also would go over even the Democrats, because some of the Democrats like YMCA as well, meaning they would probably love to hear it too. Business standpoint, 75 to 100 million people love your music and are probably going to buy it after this inauguration. Yeah, pretty good move. Pretty good move. Now, I hope she stays. I hope this next performer stays, because Shib, you're going to need to calm down on this one. This is why you need to move to America, babies, because this right here. Carrie Underwood will perform at Trump's inauguration. We've said this time and time again. Time and time again. I'm almost positive she's a conservative. Now, I could be wrong. But you don't come out of progressivism and the Democrat Party looking like this, okay? You don't, no. This is a conservative. And by the way, she knows her base because she basically sings country music. And most country people are Republican and conservative because we're normal. Now, I'm not actually a fan of country, believe it or not. I like some songs, but I don't really listen to it. Come at me in the comments. I'm ready. Come at me. But she's going to perform and will sing America the Beautiful. And she's a great singer. You know, aside from the looks and stuff like that, all jokes aside, she obviously is beautiful, but she's going to sing America the Beautiful, and she's a great singer. So this is a great pick at the second inauguration. So we're going to see her. A Trump-Vance inauguration committee spokesman confirmed the news with Fox News Digital. Now, this came out, and that's why I think it needs some confirmation, was you get the program a little bit. And by the way, I'm not so sure this is the finalized program. There could be a lot of other adjustments here. Mostly it's probably going to be set in stone, but it could change, just like any program. So Trump's 2017 featured performances from Radio City Rockettes, Three Doors Down, Toby Keith. So hopefully there's going to be a little bit more bigger people. Like, I like the Village. I like the Village people, and I like Carrie Underwood. So that's going to be fun. But I figured I'd give you guys a little bit of good news in terms of the Trump inauguration. So that's nice. Mind you, just want to let you guys know that this is currently happening right now. Trump's pick to lead Pentagon, Pete Hegseth, is being grilled at Senate confirmation hearing. So let's hope that the man gets in, because we need to remove wokeism from every aspect of American life, especially our military, when we could see that people want to harm us. I want a guy that doesn't F around. I want a Tom Homan. F around and find out. A lot of news coming up, folks. We're not going anywhere this year. If you can, hit that like button. It really does take care of us. It does support us. And, it shows that you are in favor of free speech. And it's not just Rumble. It's not just you. Well, sorry. YouTube isn't for free speech. But we are here. And also, so is Truth Social. So if you're looking for a great place online for news, discussion, entertainment, then click out and check out Truth Social, Donald Trump's social media website. You'll be receiving breaking news stories and commentary from top media figures. If you want to see Trump's legendary Truth Social posts, then get on Truth Social today. Join a growing community of patriots on a free speech platform designed to avoid censorship and cancellation by big tech. Make your voice heard. Join the movement. Join Truth Social, folks. The QR code is right there. You just need to put your phone up to it and scan it, or just go to Truth Social, download the app, create an account, and you can hear all the other patriots. It's basically a red dominant platform, but at least you'll get mostly good news. And I say mostly good news because, like, some people on the right are off their rocker too. We're not perfect, but they still have a voice, and that voice should be allowed to get and reach many people. In the same way, YouTube should be allowing that as well, but they aren't. And I can't wait. I don't know if you guys know this. Rumble does have a lawsuit against YouTube, like a massive lawsuit. And I hope through that discovery phase that they look up my channel, because I want to know the results. Dylan, if you're in here, hand to God, I give you freedom to do a discovery on my channel on YouTube, because I want to know if I'm one of those people that are blacklisted. Maybe I'll come out and I'll read the findings and go, ah, crap, I was wrong. And then I'll come out with a video and say, hey, I was completely wrong. I want to apologize to YouTube. They were not shadow banning me, but it's a little bit odd that I don't need to go any further with that. With that being said, hopefully Hegseth gets in. We will find out hopefully by the end of the day, maybe tomorrow. We will be back here again. Whoa, everything just almost shut down. Is there wildfires? Anyways, I think we'll end it there. My whole thing just went bleep. I don't know if I'm still live. If I am, I appreciate all of you folks. Hit that like and subscribe button. Share this with your friends and family all over social media. We'll be live again tomorrow, 6 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Again, we do this weekdays, Monday through Friday. If you're new to the show, welcome. And second, if you're new to the show, we also have a book called Trojan Horse, How the Left is Destroying America. Links to everything is in the description below. Fabulous book, 5-star reviews so far. If you did buy the book, can you leave us a 5-star review over at Amazon? It would be greatly appreciated, and it does help us, folks. I'll see you next time here on The Bald Brad Show. Have a blessed day, Patriots.